Hey, what's up everyone? Up. This is Valoramous. In today's music producer tutorial, I want to talk about how being a producer is like being a project manager. I'm going to give you a couple of tips that will help make you a more effective producer, and these are project management tips. So if you have ever managed a project before, no matter in what field or industry, you will recognize these tips and this will help you be more successful. So a little bit of background. So as a producer right now, currently at this current moment, I am juggling about 6 or 7 different tracks, and the majority of these tracks are collaboration projects, which means there's more than one individual involved in the project, so it's not just myself. So when there's multiple people involved, there's going to be latency, there's going to be lag time in between task completion. And this lag time can slow the entirety of the project down, because if you complete your work, you send it to the other person, and he or she takes days to either digest it or respond, which by the way is a bit natural, that's going to happen anyway. This can really slow the project down. So especially when it comes time to collaboration projects, this is where being a project manager becomes more important, because you're going to be juggling multiple movements, multiple tasks that are running in different directions simultaneously. So it can become quite complex. But the tips that I'm going to give you will help simplify this process. In short, you need to think more like an engineer and break down these tracks into their subcomponent parts. So what I mean by that is you have the 3 general phases of production, which is the composition stage, the mixing stage, and then the mastering stage. Again, this varies by producer and experience and skill level, but you need to determine an appropriate length of time that you want to be in each phase of the production process in order to move these tracks to completion. Because again, the goal is to complete or finish and then release these tracks, because it doesn't matter if you have the track on your hard drive and it's the best thing ever, it's an awesome song, you just haven't released it yet. If it's not released, nobody cares. It doesn't matter, it needs to be released. So the only way to get there is to move through these steps in an efficient manner that will get you to that finished product that you can release, which by the way is only about half the battle, because I think the other half is the business side, but that's outside the realm of this video. So the number 1 tip that I have for you is to use a calendar. This is your best friend. I like physical calendars. Some people like virtual calendars on their tablet or smartphone. I like a physical calendar because maybe I'm old school, but I can see everything written down. I give myself deadlines and dates. I can write tasks down that need to be completed with little check boxes. And this allows me to physically look at something every morning and then know what I need to complete that day or that week or that month. And this helps keep me on task, because in a lot of cases, you do not want to activate the creative part of your brain all the time. And if you can alleviate that as much as possible by putting yourself a little bit on autopilot and having tasks written down, that will make that day much more efficient. But in order to write down these tasks and write down your strategy, you do need to spend a Sunday afternoon or a slow evening one night on maybe a weekday and envision the length of time that it'll take to complete this track. And you do that by giving yourself deadlines. So for example, you could have a deadline, hey, composition of track A complete by the 30th of the month. Mixing complete for track A by the 20th of the following month. Mastering complete by the 30th of that following month. So you complete these tracks in a reasonable time. Okay, then the second general tip that I have for you is you need to write do-outs down on paper and then complete them. So not only do I have a calendar, but I have a notepad. So whenever I'm reviewing tracks with either a mentor or if I'm working with a collaboration partner and we notice mistakes, you need to write those mistakes down, because once you've identified those mistakes, you will forget them within 5 minutes, at least if you're anything like me. So what I like to do is I like to write them down, and once I've identified all the problems, again, the first step to solving any problem is identifying the problem. Once you identify the problem, write it down, and then you can solve the problems and take action or execute the solutions to these answers at a later date. But again, between your calendar and your do-outs list on a notepad, note paper, which again is a great way to sketch thoughts and visions you have for the future with these tracks. These 2 tips alone will help get you to be a much more efficient producer, but also project manager, because again, being a producer is a project manager. So there you have it. That's my quick tutorial on being a producer and being a project manager. And if you nail these project management skills, you will be a much better producer. If you think I'm forgetting something, please leave in the comments below. If you like this content, let's see more. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you.